So, Clefairy is a Pokemon, and one that I've never really cared about before. But recently, Clefairy was the shining star of Scarlet and Violet's very first mass outbreak event. This event spawned several outbreaks of Clefairy in both Kitakami and Paldea, with the increased chance of having the Upbeat mark. I just had to take advantage of this opportunity to hunt down an ever-elusive shiny Clefairy with the Upbeat mark. It can't be that hard, right? I kicked off the first day outside of Cortando, where I was immediately surrounded by these cute little guys. Man, it would be a shame if something bad happened to them. It didn't take too long to clear out the 60 Clefairy, and I started picnic resetting. It would probably be faster to just run away and reset them, but this is me. Does it look like I enjoy effort? After another 3 minutes of nothing, I quickly whipped up a sandwich to boost my shiny odds. I still found nothing. Needing a change of pace, I left Pokespain and went to Pokejapan and the beautiful land of Kitakami. I tried this outbreak down by the river, but soon realized this place sucks. So I went to another outbreak in a better spot, and well, you know the drill. I set up a sandwich and started looping around the area. It was getting a bit tedious and boring, at least until our first shiny Clefairy. So I stopped for a quick photo op, but then realized that I can't hide the UI anymore. So I just started spamming regular old Pokeballs. I could have gone for something more unique and special like a Moon Ball or a Dream Ball, but this is me. Does it look like I have money for such frivolous things? One wiggle later and I had my first shiny. Sadly, it didn't have a mark, so it went straight to the sad box. Now well, the next one will have it for sure, right? Slapping some tomato slices on some bread, I went back to hunting and oh, that was fast. But still no mark. At least it won't be lonely in the sad box. Another sandwich, another shiny, another disappointment, another addition to the sad box. This isn't going to be easy, is it? On the second day, I needed to find a new outbreak to hunt. So I settled for this outbreak in the south of Kitakami and began clearing out the Clefairy. Turns out, I didn't even need to get 60 knockouts before I found the 4th Clefairy, and the 4th resident for the sad box. Wanting to take a break for a little while, I headed to a different outbreak. I started catching every Clefairy in sight just to see how long it would take to find the Upbeat mark. The very first Clefairy had the Dawn mark, but it took 13 more Clefairy before I found the second mark. Which, surely this has to be the Upbeat mark, right? Oh. I have the weirdest luck sometimes, I swear. And as that weird luck would have it, the very next Clefairy had the Upbeat mark. I continued hunting in that area. It felt a lot more open and easier to spawn Pokemon, including the Snowpass that had been banished to the timeout corner, so I figured it wouldn't take too long to find the next shiny. And I was right, but there was a slight problem. That is not a Clefairy. I was still running on a fairy sandwich, so that's a full odds shiny. Nice. Unfortunately, I ran out of the Herba Mystica I needed to make the sandwiches. I was able to make a slightly less than optimal sandwich that was lacking in encounter power, but it should still serve our purposes. And I was off again, checking every little fairy I could find until... oh. Neat. On the next sandwich, something strange caught my eye. This tiny little Nosepass. It was the smallest one I had ever seen, so I captured it to see if it would have the mini mark. It didn't, but I named her Cleo and she is now my adorable pet rock. The next shiny Clefairy showed up a few moments later, and this one had a mark. I quickly rushed to the sad box to check it and... yeah, no, it's staying in here. I went to an outbreak in the spot where I found the first 3 shinies, hoping my luck would hold up there. And it did. Just not for a Clefairy, but a 3rd full odds shiny never hurt anyone. And after finding some scuba diving Clefairy, day 2 came to an end. Day 3 got off to a rather dull start, but luck quickly turned in my favor as our 6th shiny Clefairy popped up. It too had a mark, but my luck had to end somewhere as this one just had the rainy mark. Oh well, it could be worse. Much like shiny Clefairy number 7, which didn't have a mark. Shiny Clefairy number 8 was a bit shy and hiding in some flowers, probably wanting to go unnoticed as it didn't have a mark. At least it can hide with its siblings in the sad box. And then there's shiny Clefairy number 9. It didn't have a mark, so I don't have much to say about it. And then we hit double digits with shiny Clefairy number 10. No mark. I was hunting at really late hours, and then the outbreaks reset on me. And I hit the jackpot. This outbreak spawned right outside of Cortando, making it easy to reset the encounters. I quickly knocked out the Clefairy and whipped up a sandwich, and it did not disappoint. Shiny Clefairy number 11, however, did. I was able to bring day 3 to a close on shiny Clefairy number 12, who was apparently cosplaying as a fence post. It probably should have stayed that way as, alas, still no mark. And then we get to day 4, but by this point, I was starting to get burned out on the hunt. So I decided that day 4 would be the last day. Target or no target, it was time to move on. So I set up a sandwich and rushed off into the Olive Garden. Hey, wait a minute. And that's the 4th full-on shiny. And a pretty good one too. Wouldn't it be crazy though if the next shiny popped up in like less than a minute? Oh wow, what are the chances? Who could have seen that coming? And it has a mark? It was just the lunchtime mark. Which reminds me, I'm hungry. After a quick break for some chicky nuggies, I headed to the gas station to refill my robot bike when 3 shinies in 1 sandwich? That's the best luck I've had so far. I decided to bring it all to an end with one final sandwich, and 20 minutes later, I found one final shiny Clefairy. All hopes were riding on this Pokemon, and nothing. It wasn't meant to be. So I connected to the internet, and the outbreaks dispersed. Okay, well not quite. I had to run into and out of town for them to despawn, but they were gone. My adventure with the moon viewing party had come to a close. It was disheartening at first. I was even a little frustrated, and then I just took a look at the sad box and I saw everything that I had found, including 14 shiny Clefairy, 3 of them marked, an Upbeat Clefairy, a rare marked Clefairy, 4 full-on shiny, and a Fido on top of that. I hadn't found my target, but I had found something just as good. And to keep with the themes of Scarlet and Violet, I guess you could say that all along, the real treasure was Cleo! She's tiny and adorable and I love her.